back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Starting off today not too great. It is currently my birthday, January the 15th. I don't know if I'll get this posted today. I probably will, since I'm not working today, because I had to call off because it's currently 3 degrees outside. Real feels probably like 1 or 0. And got the truck fired up this morning, was getting ready to roll out, was checking over the truck and everything else, and was about to back it up. And my gauge for my vacuum gauge that's on the fuel system shot up. And I was like, well, either I'm gelling up, which I didn't think I would be, because I got extra heaters on that fuel system that kick on once the truck's running and stays running while the truck's running if it's under 30 degrees. It's like either I'm gelling up or I got another issue. So I pulled the truck on into the shop and looking around and everything else, and my fuel pump, my external fuel pump wasn't turning on. So I got to pulling at the harness and everything else, trying to figure out why it wasn't getting power. It was just the motor on the fuel pump not getting power. The heater that's on it was getting power. The fuse wasn't blown, anything like that. So, you know, I got to looking around, trying to figure out what's going on, and I forgot that this thing had 2 relays on it. So I pulled one relay, it looked fine. Pulled the other relay, and as you guys can see, it is completely shot. So I went now at the parts store here at CIT, Kenworth, grabbed 4 relays, 2 for backup. I'm gonna go ahead and replace these 2 that were on the truck, and I got 2 for backup just in case I have this issue again. Hopefully that's my issue. I don't know if it's gonna be my issue or not. It's kind of one of those trial and error things when it comes to wiring. So I'm either gonna be able to plug one of them relays in, and I'll get power back to my motor, and hopefully the motor still spins and works, or I plug one of them relays in and nothing changes, and now I gotta pull the harness apart and figure out why there's no power running to that motor. So either it's gonna be a very quick and easy day, and then I'll just go home and enjoy my birthday, I guess. I mean, I guess this is not the way I expected it to go. I mean, I had a load today. It wasn't the, longest load in the world. It wasn't the shortest load in the world, but it was still money. I view my birthday as another day, so I'm not going to take off my days in the middle of the work week. So I'd rather make money than spend money, sort of thing. But it is what it is. It's part of the deal. It's part of the game. So I got the trailer dropped out in front of the door, since I was parked in front of the door with the trailer on it. So I pulled the truck back outside. Luckily, it's still getting enough fuel pulling through that pump to move around. So I just bagged the truck back outside. Well, I changed them 2 filters that are on that pump. Went ahead and pulled those off, changed them out just in case. Bagged the truck back outside, dropped the trailer in front of the door, and just pulled the truck back inside and shut the door. I gotta go and get some fuel for my heater because it's running out. I want to put more fuel in the pickup truck just in case. So at least I have one vehicle working that I don't have to worry about. And yeah, we'll go from there. So I'll catch you guys once we get to back to the shop, start troubleshooting, and figure out what our issue is, if it's not just a relay. made it back to the shop. Got our diesel heater filled up with fuel. Like I showed you guys earlier, if it'll focus, give you some light. This relay is pretty bad on the inside, so they didn't have the shielded one, so I got a bunch of just normal ones, brand new, so I can replace. I'm gonna go ahead and, well, this one still works, I know for sure, because you can hear it click when I plug it in. So I'm gonna reuse this one, use one of these, and I'll have probably 2 of these in the truck and 1 here as a spare. So I'll get you guys kind of caught up on everything I did. So I changed both filters on there just in case for some reason I was having gelling issues or something like that, but I do have a puck heater right there, so that's getting power. As you can see, I keep filters on the shelf for that specific reason. But this puck heater is getting power. Right here where the pump plugs in is not getting power. This plug is also not getting power, but this plug is. So first thing I did was I went into my fuse box right there, and I checked where I tapped in for my trigger wire, which has power. If I can find, because I got crap everywhere now, because I was frantically trying to get this stuff done to try to get back to work, but now since I'm not working, I can kind of take my time and get this done. But I'll show you guys here. We turn our key on. When we turn our key on, this pump is supposed to be pumping already. As you can see, we got no fuel pressure. But if we take our test light here, our trigger has power. So that rules out that. Thought it was a trigger wire running into the truck. That rules out that, so I have to clean that back. So then I went and pulled these 2 relays. This one is a spare that I took out of the truck for the timer, the shutdown timer for the truck. So I took that out to see if that was the issue, and I don't know if I can do this with one hand. Hold on, let me shut you guys up on the tripod. All right, so we got power running to the harness right now. And how I figured out that other relay was bad, first off, there's a lot of corrosion in here and stuff that I gotta clean out, but I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it or not, but I'm gonna bring this by the mic. Hear that clicking? This relay is good, which I need to put back in the truck so I don't forget to put it back in place where it goes. So that relay works. But the other relay that has all the corrosion does not click. So this relay went bad at some point. Not that one, I need the other one. Excuse my wiring mess, but I had to tear all this crap apart. But this one doesn't click at all. Nothing. Take one of my new ones here, and it clicks. So, diagnose a little bit at a time. I got a feeling I'm gonna have to pull this whole harness off the truck that runs through the battery box and everything else for this thing, and possibly see if there's a broken wire in my harness that runs to the pump up here. So I've already ruled out the relay just by doing that test, because I'm going to take actually both of these relays. This one's the good one, which goes to this one, so we'll plug this one back in. Hear that click, relay works. So this one's good to go. I'm gonna end up electrical taping this, and then also running, I got this stuff called Tesla tape, which is pretty much loom in a tape form. So I'm gonna end up electrical taping this and then Tesla taping this probably from here back to keep this one happening what happened to the other one. So now if we take our other one, we got power already running to the pump. So we're gonna plug this one in since the key is on. We got a click. So this relay works. So now we gotta come in here and grab our plug for the pump, which instead of plugging it in, I'm gonna take my test light and see if we got any sort of power. Nothing. So, and just for you guys to see, so you see this one right here with the white tape, this one goes to the motor, to the pump motor. It's all in the same harness as this one right here, which is the fuel heater. If I take this one out, we got power. So there's something wrong somewhere in between where that plug is, somewhere in the harness. So I'm gonna have to take that this whole harness out, which is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut my wire, my trigger wire that I have here. I'm actually gonna, while I'm taking that apart, I'm gonna put a plug in there just in case I have this issue again. So I'm gonna put a plug in here for that when I put this back together. I'm gonna take this whole harness out, take all the zip ties out, pull it all the way out of the truck, lay it out, pull all the loom off of it from the pump plug all the way down, see if I can find a broke wire. If I can't find a broke wire, I'm gonna find a point, cut it out, and rewire that plug all the way up to where it goes, and hopefully that fixes my issue. That's really the only thing I can think to do now, because I'm getting power throughout the rest of the harness. So since I'm getting power throughout the rest of the harness, there's no point in redoing the whole harness. So I'm just gonna redo that part and see how we go. So I'm gonna work on taking this whole harness out, which all of it runs all back through there and into that hole right there and goes up to the ground and the power and ground back there on that battery. So I gotta pull all this crap out, lay it out so I can get access to everything, and we'll go from there. I'm gonna kind of cut it apart, kind of focus on this and see what I can find, and I'll let you guys know once I hopefully find the issue. But that's just how I diagnose things when it comes to wiring. You just kind of take steps. Test light is your best friend when it comes to wiring, because then you can just test stuff without having to guess and check and see if stuff is working. So I went straight from the fuse, just went ahead and changed it out. I'm getting power through that fuse also. Check that with the test light. So I went straight from fuse in the fuse box to fuse on the harness to plugs on the harness, because if you check where you're initially getting power through, fuse, relay, whatever, if you check those first and one of those is bad, you change that out, you're good to go. If you check all of those, that tells you that there's a broken wire or something wrong inside your harness. So, which this is a pre-made harness from AirDog. So I didn't make this harness, anything like that. So now I'm gonna have to modify it to make it work, pretty much. So I'm gonna get this whole thing out. I would record it, but I don't have any of my camera gear with me. I just have my phone today. So it's gonna be hard for me to record tearing a lot of shit down with their tripod, because I can't really move it and it sometimes gets in the way. So I'm just gonna get it out of the truck. It really shouldn't take me nothing but a couple minutes to pull it out of the truck, because it's pull my two 916 off the battery, pull those off, pull it through the battery box, unplug everything from the pump, and the whole thing should pretty much just pull out, because I pretty much already cut all the zip ties trying to get to the harness. So that's what we're gonna do. We'll get it laid out on the ground, start cutting into it, and I'll let you guys know what I found, if I found anything, If I don't, I'm just gonna rewire it anyways. If I do, I'll probably just rewire it anyways. But I like to see what the issue is instead of just cutting stuff up and just redoing it. I like to see where the issue is before I do that. So therefore, if I have another problem, I know where to kind of go back to if I have the same kind of issue, which I shouldn't with the way I'm gonna do this. But hey, like I said, it's a process. Everybody does wiring differently. Everybody takes their own different steps. That's just the way I do it when it comes to diagnosing anything, when it comes to lights, harnesses, anything. You start at the source of the power. If the source of the power has a fuse, which most things should, besides some of your lights won't, well, you'll have a fuse in your fuse box for lights. So you go to your fuse first, fuse, relays, whatever, check those out. Those are all good. Then you start tracing your wiring. Don't mess up your time and waste a lot of time tracking your wiring unless you can physically see where it's broken or anything like that. Start at the fuses, start at your relays, start at the power source, and then you go through your wiring. Saves you a lot of time. Well, y'all, I figured it out. I think. Didn't take me long whatsoever. I found, I don't know why or why I did this when I put this harness on this truck, but I started pulling the harness out. There was another fuse in line behind my battery box that I now pulled through my battery box and put it in here. I cut it, shortened it, put a new heat shrink and a terminal on it, but there's two of them. So one of them was back there, and as you guys can see, that's not good. So I got it put back together. Harness is still out just in case it's not my issue. I need to plug this back in, and hopefully we hear this fuel pump kick on when I turn this key. Look at that. It don't sound the greatest, but it also doesn't have any fuel in it right now, as you guys can see. So we'll wait to see if any pressure comes through here and let it run for a bit, because it's gonna have to fill these filters up, because these filters have no fuel in them. That's the reason why it sounds the way it does. So I'm gonna sit here, wait for this to fill these filters up, see if we get some pressure, see if that fixed our issue. Just like that. It's the small things, littlest things that can, keep you from doing your job in a sense. So that one fuse kept me from working today. One fuse is what kept me from working today. But I don't know why I didn't cut that shorter when I put this harness on. I don't know. It's one of those things. You kind of kick yourself in the foot sometimes when it comes to doing things and not understanding why you did it like that the first time. But you win some, you lose some. You can only get better if you learn from your mistakes, fix them, and keep it moving. Well, he's back working again. One fuse and one relay is what kept me from working today. What is that rattle? Oh, okay, it's just the back panel on the light bar back here. Yeah, one fuse, one relay. What kept me from working today? Wild, right? But I could have replaced the fuse if I would have found it earlier this morning, but it wouldn't have mattered anyways because I didn't have any extra relays here at the shop. But now I do. So we hopefully shouldn't have this issue anymore. We get all this crap I just lost all train of thought. I'm gonna get all this crap tidied up. I gotta fix that wire that I spliced into to make sure it had power. And yeah, I want to put a plug in there. So I got to put a plug in there. So next time if I have this issue, I don't have to splice into the wire. I can just plug, because I keep plugs at the shop. There's a lot of things I keep here for certain reasons. So I got plugs, two-prong plugs, three-prong plugs. I got it all. I keep stuff like that around for these reasons. I don't know why I didn't do that from the first part, but whatever. I'm gonna just take this two-prong plug, cut the black wires out of it, and just use the red, use it as a run prong plug. So, in their wire pack connector, so it'll keep water and stuff from getting in there. So, she got fuel pressure, she's all good. So, tire pressure while I'm out here, since it's so freaking cold out. Get everything all ready to go, because we're headed to Nebraska tomorrow. So, well, I'm headed back to Nebraska tomorrow, because I was just there Monday and yesterday. Came back yesterday. I had a short load today. We were going to go to Missouri, but that didn't happen because that relay was messed up, and that fuse that some reason I put behind my battery box, but I still kind of kicking myself in the ass for that one, because that was just dumb. But yeah, I'm just rambling at this point. A lot of things going through my head as of why I did what I did, but I don't know. Just is what it is, I guess. But I had to get all this stuff tidied up. This is where I'm going to end it, though. A little short one for you guys, just to show you the everyday things. You know, not everything goes perfect, even on a new truck. I mean, yeah, it's one of those things that I put on the truck. I probably wouldn't even have this issue if I would have kept the old water separator unit on the truck, which I actually still have. It's right there. But it is what it is. You go through the things, you got to troubleshoot, and sometimes you just got to know when to call it. You know, it's one of those things. I could have jerry-rigged some stuff and made this work easily. All I would have had to do was just cut into the harness, run a power wire directly from the battery, and just not shut the truck off, and it would have been fine. And it would have ran me to Missouri and back. But as you can see, there was no point in doing that. I would have did all that and cut into the harness for literally no reason. So sometimes you just gotta slow down, slow yourself down, stop rushing. It's one thing if you're on the side of the road. It's one thing, you know, if you're stranded somewhere trying to get off the road, whatever. You gotta frantically do stuff to try to get yourself on the side of the road or off somewhere to where you can calm down and actually fix the issue. So instead of frantically doing stuff and cutting into stuff that was, you know, not worth it, sometimes you just got to slow yourself down and you find the issue. It's literally as simple as that. So if I would have known that fuse was back there, I would have checked it and I would have went to work this morning. But shit happens. So guess I'll just take my birthday off, which is something I don't do normally. I mean, I really didn't have a choice. My truck kind of made me take my birthday off in a sense. But I'm going to end it here before I keep rambling on. I'm going to get that all tidied up, taped up, put my plug in there, and get the shop cleaned up. And I'm going to go home for the day and do absolutely nothing besides get this video up for you guys. I'm going to do that. But other than that, I'm not doing anything today. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys maybe learned something. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Chapter 27. We're going to see what we can get done. Peace.